Hi guys, and welcome to part 2 of everything you were afraid to ask about Qigong. Does Qigong need to be owed to be valid? Actually no, and I've actually developed some new forms myself. So often in Qigong, people want to open the Xiao Zhou Tian.
What the hell is a dumac?
This really is the connection between the Ren and the Du channel, running down the front of the body and at the back of the body. These channels are important, but it's also important not to fixate on specific channels, imagining that is where the Qi is going, because quite frankly, you might be thinking the Qi is somewhere and it could be somewhere else. So what happens when all the channels open and the Qi is really strong and you have the perfect flow of energy? What happens to the body then? And what happens to the Qi? Well, what happens is there a concept of Qi relating to a star constellation? Yes, there are some traditional forms that do relate to star formations and constellations in the sky. Can the internal arts help open my creativity?
No, don't stop, sir. It's coming. It's definitely coming. I
think practicing the internal arts as well as meditation does have the potential to help people open up their creativity or the creative mind. Another question often brought up is, can I practice Qigong as a group? Yes, you can practice as a group. Personally, I've always preferred practicing on my own, but everyone is different, and if you want to practice in a group with friends, that's great. If you want to practice on your own, that's also great too. Here's an interesting question. If I've been around ill people or people with the flu, should I do Qigong when I'm on my own? Yeah, that's a good idea. You can use Qigong to help yourself recover quicker. I would suggest going to your practice area where you usually practice and do quick movements, fluttering movements, shaking movements, and tapping movements to clear away, hopefully, any of that illness or those germs from the other people. I suggest you do it as soon as possible, and then hopefully you haven't caught the flu or the virus. A word of caution though, bearing in mind we are all human and it's natural that we all catch flu, viruses and colds. People find certain moves more difficult than others. I would suggest looking into what the move is actually doing and what it relates to. Sometimes if a move relates to a certain internal organ or part of the body, maybe there's a problem with that part of the body or that internal organ. For instance, an interesting move is the fluttering move. Any moves that flutter, figure out which finger you find the most difficult to move and flutter, as each finger relates to a different internal organ. For instance, the thumb is the stomach, the liver, the heart, the lungs, and the kidneys. So theoretically, once the internal organ becomes healthier and stronger, actually the move will become a little easier. hopefully. If you work on these moves, then hopefully that part of your body will recover to the same standard as the rest of your body, and then you'll be well on the way to a more balanced, better health. I think one key aspect is the word being sincere. Sometimes I was asked, can I do Qigong while watching TV or listening to the radio? Maybe your concentration though is on the TV show or the radio and not actually with your body or your mind or the mindfulness of the actual practice. Thanks guys, I've finished my drink. That is the end of the questions and answers and handy tips for Qigong. Take care and see you soon.